can't get to him.
Yeah, I agree. I think I think Elon does what he wants. I think he says what he wants. I think he does what he wants. I think he's always going to do that. I think that's like the most like beautiful thing about him actually as a person is that he just does. I mean, it's like anytime he drops any kind of anything about what's going to go on with something on X, it's like everybody's up and, you know, immediately like, oh my God, like the world is ending. But it's just his nature, right? Like it's just his nature to throw stuff out there and just kind of make people talk, have dialogue. And I think that's honestly really important. I think a lot of great things are going to come out from that perspective on X. I think X is truly, I know I say it all the time, and I think that people think I'm crazy, but I really, truly believe that that platform is going to cause a paradigm shift in society and in humanity overall. There are so many people who don't even use that platform yet, who don't even know about it, right? Yeah. They don't know what's going on over there. And when it becomes quickly one of the best places to be, because it will, I mean, we're seeing the changes already, right? You're thinking about like, we're talking, they're moving, there's like a train moving, which is their algorithm, right? And they're in there like tinkering with stuff and changing things like while it's going. And, and making big positive changes that sometimes do have negative consequences on other parts of the algo. And it's not really their fault. It's just kind of the way that it's working, right? Because otherwise they'd have to like shut it down and build it back up again. Yeah. So it's like, but they're doing all of that. They're making all of these crazy things. There's already so many amazing features that you can use on there, you know, like spaces, like long form posting, you know, different things that are happening. Lives are going to start getting more traction and whatnot. And then they have so much more that they want to add. It's going to be a place that everybody's going to want to be on. The people who are on it now, I think, are going to, if they use it correctly and they're kind to other people and they're doing what they need to do from, you know, a positive perspective, they're going to be in a really good spot in another year or so.
Do you feel like it's kind of like what you get what you put into it? Like if you are looking to troll or be negative, that's what you're going to find. But if you, because I've noticed like people have complained like, oh, it's full of hate and all this. And I said, like, I mute people that come in as a troll. I don't even block them. I just mute because somehow if I block them, they can see I blocked them. They're like, they hold it up like a scalp, like, oh, I got this guy to block me, which I always think is silly too. It's like, imagine translating Twitter to real life. If you like, do you want to go around and say, I got Amber to block me? She doesn't want anything to do. She gave me a restraining order. I mean, what? I mean, it's like bragging, you know?
Yeah. And the funny thing that you're saying about that too is like, I just put up a post yesterday, you know, about like, why do we look at X as if it's a void when it really has the potential to cause a huge shift in society, right? It will. And that's like the crazy thing is it's like when you're saying it's just like, oh, it's like in real life, it's like, look, X is going to become real life. People on X are already meeting one another in real life, you know, doing things like this where we're sitting here digitally right now, but still I'm conversing with you in person, right? So it's like a lot of different things are coming from it. Connection and collaboration are going to end up being at an all-time high. Creation is going to be inspiring from what we're going to see through all of this stuff. So it's like, so yeah, I mean, if it were me, I would 100% be treating my account just like I do right now, where, you know, I am kind to everybody. I don't interact with trolls. I don't even take the time to mute trolls, honestly.
Move on.
You know what? If you want to write something nasty on a post that I put out, of all people, my goodness, you know what I mean? Like what your day is like, I don't know, because I can't even imagine. Just personally, I can't imagine going around and saying anything like that to anybody, anyways. But I couldn't imagine doing it to someone who just only posts positive stuff, only posts like, you know, fun things or like, you know, ways for people to talk to one another.
Like shame on you for being too positive. You know,
I know, seriously.
It says more about them though than you. Like it's like they're like, she's positive. I can't on Twitter.
I do think that it is like, you know, going back to your first question, I do think that it is you do get out of it what you put into it, and not just necessarily in content, because of course, like, even I'm putting all of these positive things out there, and like I just said, there are trolls that come and say something to me just to try to get a rise on me, which, sorry guys, you will never get. So there's just that.
Not happening.
But like, you know, so it's not just from that, but also from like, you know, how you're growing your account, how you're building things. Like it does take time, it does take effort. people who are building their accounts, I know a lot of people think, you know, I mean, there's definitely some people who've had legacy accounts that have had tons of followers and engagement for a long period of time, right? So they're naturally going to get pushed out quicker because they've been there, they've been doing it. But again, you're looking at that whole timeline of like all of the work and effort and time they've put in to get to where they are. It's the same thing with anybody building up their account now. I mean, the amount of time I spend on X is stupid, and it's like, and the amount of time that I dedicated, because I prioritize time to do that. I mean, I'm not just on X, although it may seem like that sometimes.
Like, you know, hang on.
Exactly. I'm like, I own a business that does really well. And is nationally selling like brand and whatnot. I do so many things outside. I write, you know what I mean? It's like I do so many things like constantly. But for me, I dedicate time and space to the things that I think are going to bring value to my life, that are going to, you know, help me to continue progressing in life. And I really do believe that about the app. So I dedicate time to it because I want to be there, you know?
You came in too. Didn't you kind of come in right here on the heels of Elon taking over? Like that, like you hadn't used Twitter before?
Yeah, so I had an account that was kind of dormant since 2012. I tried to, the last time the world was ending.
Anyway, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I tried to use it a couple times, but it's like you said, like when Twitter 1.0 was very different. And so that's where it's like, I would encourage you, if you're listening to this and you're like, Twitter, like who cares? It's a bunch of crap. It's actually not now. It's very different than it once was. So when I first started trying to use Twitter, I could not understand it. I could not understand how you were supposed to engage with people. I mean, now that we see the algo like rolling out and like what's going on there, we also know why we couldn't talk to one another. So there's that. You know what I mean? So I tried it a few times, but it never really worked out for me. I didn't really have much of anything on there. I wasn't really connected to anybody. It was pretty much starting at ground zero. And then in June, I hopped on after I was like, you know, Elon's been hearing some things about like, oh, Elon's been doing some cool stuff like on X. Like, I think it was still Twitter at that point. Let me like jump on and see what's going on. And I quickly realized that I could connect with a lot of amazing people, and like you, like yourself, so many amazing people who I know. Let me just build it up.
Go on.
So great. Let me tell you, how long do you have? So but truly, you know what I mean? Like just connecting with amazing people who are doing really cool things, like stuff like this, who are talking about mental health, which I think truly I do want to talk about, because I truly think it needs to be destigmatized. And different, you know, things that are actually bringing like progress and positive things to the world. So I quickly realized that. I started like spending more time there. I started dedicating certain time during my days to be on there. I do spaces on Mondays and Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, and those are pretty consistent.
Those are can't miss spaces, by the way. We get into some deep rabbit holes. By the way, I have made peace with my burrito issues, my trust issues with burritos. You know, it's the breakfast burritos that I prefer, you know, now. So I'm
so glad. And you know what, Norwood, he really can do that. He really can like get into those semantics with you and change your mind on a lot. He's great at doing it.
Dude was playing like he and I were just like the serious conversation. Dude was rolling with it. That dude's great, man.
He's amazing.
I think, in fact, I think he needs to do like either a YouTube Shorts like series or something. Try anything once, and then just have like a review, like his review. The way he was handled, like the way he was breaking down, diagnosing my trust issues with burritos was spot on. Like he should have a PhD.
He honestly should. He's so funny. I think I don't know if you were there when we were talking about it, but we are talking about doing like a Buffy rewatch.
Oh wow, the Slayer.
Yes, which is actually an original watch for me. I've never seen it, which is crazy because I love vampires and I've seen like every vampire thing out there.
Wait, are we talking the Kristy Swanson movie or are we talking the Sarah Michelle Gellar series?
We're talking about the series.
Okay. I have never gotten into it, so I might be down as a first timer myself as well.
Yeah. So see, and he's a huge fan.
Okay.
So I was like, this is perfect. We should do this space. I don't know. We have some thoughts about it, and I think it'll take off, honestly.
I think so too. Catch new episodes of Mental Health Mondays every Monday morning at 7 a.m. Start your week off with a smile and some inspiration.